Hello everybody, how's everyone doing? As for me, I'm doing pretty good. I did pretty well on an interview and I feel highly certain I'll be able to get the job. Although it was not perfect, we did talk for an hour, so I guess I was doing something right. Anyways, in this video we'll be talking about Bitcoin and the moving averages a popular YouTuber uses. If you're in the crypto space, then most likely you have heard about Benjamin Cowen. His YouTube channel does technical analysis on various crypto assets and he seems to be pretty good at it. Today we will be looking at what he calls the Bitcoin bull market support band and how he uses the 8-week moving average to track price. After that, I'll be going over some news surrounding Bitcoin, doing some technical analysis, and then finally updating my portfolio. He defines his bull market support band as the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. However, for the 20-week SMA, I was not able to reproduce the lines he made. I tried every single setting, like making the moving average calculate based on the opening price, but in the end, I was not able to reproduce it. However, when I gave up and tried using the 20-week moving average, it lined up almost perfectly. In the end, this is his Bitcoin bull market support band indicator. The blue line represents the 20-week moving average, while the orange line represents the 21-week EMA. Recently, we had a golden cross where the 20-week moving average moved above the 21-week moving average. When this happens, this is pretty bullish. As you can see, the last time we had this cross, we had a 681% increase in price. In the cycle before that, we had a 2,931% increase in price. However, we don't always see this increase. For example, we often see these random crosses that occur between every bull cycle, and this is only a modest price increase of 169%. But the thing we can learn from all of this is that when we have a cross, there is an increase in price. Furthermore, due to the timing of this bull cycle phase, we are probably going to experience one of those huge runs as we are towards the end of the bull cycle phase and should see a huge jump. As for death crosses, so this is when the 21-week moves above the 20-week, we see the price drops. However, how effectively and how quickly this alerts the trader is quite questionable. For instance, I would not use this as a market top indicator. If we look at the previous cycle, we saw that we got a death cross after Bitcoin peaked. After the death cross, we saw a 67% move to the downside. However, as with all moving averages, they are delayed. If we calculate how much Bitcoin dropped from its peak to the start of the death cross, we see that we dropped around 50%. This means that we would have lost 50% in gains before getting notified for it. Therefore, I believe that death crosses don't really tell us much, but the golden cross do tell us a lot more information. In the end, he states that he would prefer if Bitcoin tests his Bitcoin bull market support band indicator before it makes an exponential move to the upside. He wanted this to happen because when Bitcoin decides to fall after its exponential move to the upside, it will provide a strong region of support. Clearly, we tested the 21-week EMA with the wick and the 20-week moving average with the body, so it is safe to say if he were to be correct, this will be a strong region of support later on. The last indicator he uses is the 8-week. He mainly uses the 8-week as a general support and resistance line. The 8-week follows price very carefully as shown here. There are many times that price was barely just above it and right below it as shown in the center. Generally, when price is above the 8-week, Bitcoin is bullish, while when price is below the 8-week, Bitcoin is bearish. As for current events surrounding the crypto space, we saw Kathy would state that she will likely see ARK Invest's crypto portfolio trend toward around 60% Bitcoin and 40% Ether. Ever since the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade, she says she is a firm believer in Ethereum as it is transitioning from a proof of work to a proof of stake coin. On the other hand, we saw Fidelity urge the SEC in a private meeting to approve its Bitcoin ETF. It was reported that they had a video call meeting on September 8th where they laid reasons why the SEC should approve their products. Fidelity filed its application in March and is looking to seek approval before other investment portfolios do. In the end, the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, is taking a more cautious approach. He did signal that he may approve one by the end of this year, but it would have to comply to the strictest of rules for mutual funds. In the end, not all people are so bullish for Bitcoin. We saw Ray Dalio come out saying that the regulators will kill Bitcoin if it gets too successful. Ray Dalio, who is the founder of the world's largest hedge fund, believes that regulators will take control of Bitcoin by doing this. Ray Dalio compared Bitcoins to the tulips in Holland, where there's so many things in the historical perspective that didn't have intrinsic value but had perceived value at that time. However, in the end, he believes that Bitcoin makes a good alternative to cash and owns a relatively small amount of it when compared to his gold exposure. Let's now do some technical analysis. Here we have the Bitcoin chart. As you can see, we went below this green line. However, in the past week, we were able to get above it after multiple retests and rejections. Other than that, the closest line of resistance we have are the red horizontal lines. These red horizontal lines are at the $49,000 and the low $50,000 range. I put them there because there was a lot of price interaction in these areas. As for Ethereum, we see that we held the lowest green line as support. We were hugging this line carefully, but we were able to break out of the second green line today. Other than that, Ethereum seems to be repairing itself nicely. In fact, all cryptos across the board seem to be repairing themselves pretty well. The Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart is showing a triangle formation. This triangle is almost 3/4 of the way done, so we should expect a breakout to the upside as the previous trend is an uptrend. This means that Ethereum will appreciate against Bitcoin. As for the S&P 500, we see that we broke through an important red trend line that was placed in by several lows. We even broke through this green line that is made up of several wicks. We did climb above it again, but the S&P 500 does not look like it's doing too well. If the S&P 500 continues to fall, this will put stress on the markets. The Nasdaq also broke down after breaking out of its rising wedge formation, however it looks like it's doing much better than S&P 500. For now, we just need to keep a closer eye on the lower green line. The final chart we have is the DXY. The DXY did not progress anywhere the past week as we're range bound. We are still holding the green line as support, but are trending downwards towards it. Maybe the next test of the green line will push the dollar below the green support line. Before I end this video, let's do a portfolio update. Here we see Bitcoin. As you can see, we're up 8% overall in this trade. We just recently started rising and Bitcoin seems to be slowly climbing toward the 50k range. That is pretty good as we tested the bull market support band again, and this will probably give Bitcoin the confidence to move up higher. As for Ethereum, we see that we're up 5% for the day and around 485% in total. This is pretty good overall as once again Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Here we have Litecoin. As you can see, we made a total return of around 18% and are up 2.64% for the day. That is pretty okay as it is kind of doing better than Bitcoin, but at the same time it isn't. So in the end, I think I made the wrong choice as I'm taking on higher risk but am achieving the same return when compared to Bitcoin. With that, I'm going to end this video. If you like this video, press the like button. If you have any questions about this video, leave a comment below. If you want to watch more videos like this, press the subscribe button. This is Books of the Stock Market, and I'll see you around next week. Thanks.